Anna here, reporting to you again from Madison, Wisconsin. I'm here to talk about our most recent turn of events. I am incredibly upset with how things went down this morning. The State Assembly passed the budget repair bill this morning, and what I'm upset about isn't so much that it didn't go my way and the bill was passed as opposed to thrown out or amended. What I'm incredibly upset about is how this happened. The Republican Majority Leader opened the vote and closed the vote within a matter of seconds without announcing it to the Democrats. So out of the 38 Democrats, 13 of them got a grip on what was happening and got their votes in before the vote closed. Now, it's not like they were completely oblivious. The vote was not announced. And they had been awake for 60 hours discussing this bill. So it was a really underhanded move, and it's not how democracy is supposed to happen. Whether or not you're in the minority or the majority, your vote is supposed to be heard. And all the Democrats the representatives whose votes were not included in this, that's all of their districts who didn't get a say in what happened here. I don't care if you've been elected to office, you are still there to represent the will of the people. Winning does not mean that you get to do whatever the hell you want, and there were 68,000 people in the Capitol on Saturday telling the representative what they wanted. The Republicans have disconnected the legislative hotline. They were not receiving any more calls from people, and there were so many emails coming in. I don't know what the contents of those emails were. I don't know what their districts are saying, but all the districts in Wisconsin were not represented in this vote, and that is a problem. Now, the senators who are hiding out in Illinois are saying that this only strengthens their resolve not to come back. Personally, I can understand why. If they come back, they only need 20 senators to hold a quorum and to push this vote through. There are 19 Republican senators. If one Democratic senator is there, this vote goes through without any debate or discussion. Scott Walker keeps saying, this is a democracy. You need to do your jobs. You need to come back and discuss with us what's going to happen. And then he turns around and tells people that the only reason he'll talk to them is to get them back on the floor so that he can push this vote through without a negotiation. That is not democracy. Democracy is when people come from different backgrounds, from different standpoints, from different views. I understand that. Not everyone is going to have the same opinion that I have. But what happens in a democracy is then the representatives come together and they try and work towards a solution that is for the greater good of the people. Now, I am not naive enough to believe that there has not been a corporate hand in the U.S. government for a very long time, or that unions haven't pushed agendas, or that there is not influence on the representatives other than the will of the people. I am fully aware, and I am jaded, and I am cynical when it comes to that. But this blatant disregard of how our government is supposed to be run makes me sick to my stomach. I cannot believe this happened. Personally, I can't understand how this is legal. I'm not a lawyer, so I can't speak to the legality of this, but I certainly hope that there is a lawyer taking a look at this now and building a case if this was not a legal move. I think that this budget and this deficit is a huge problem, and that the potential of people losing their jobs is a terrifying prospect, and I don't think that we should just turn a blind eye, but I do think that there has to be another way to go about doing this. A budget bill that takes away the citizens' rights is no bill that I want on the table, and I think that if people sat down and actually listened to each other and negotiated, there could be a different solution. 2 years ago, Governor Jim Doyle dealt with a larger deficit than we have now, and he managed to make it work. The unions took benefit cuts, they made concessions, and he worked with the Republicans and the Democrats to make this happen. Now, what happened this morning was not democracy in action. That was a group of people pushing their agenda through at the detriment of the people of Wisconsin. This is a bill that is going to hurt people in the private and public sector alike, and there are people who are going to be losing their homes, losing their jobs, unemployment is going to go up. This is not helping. This is not helping the state of the economy in Wisconsin. And you can tell me that it's a tough economic situation. I know that, and I see people every day who are losing everything they have, and it breaks my heart because I am your typical bleeding heart, and I want to take care of everyone, and I can't, and that kills me every day. But what our representatives are supposed to be doing is negotiating and coming to an agreement that will help more people, not less. Just because one group of people lost their job doesn't mean that you take away the job from someone else or their ability to do their job well. You try and make it better for the people who have already lost it, and you try and come to an agreement that helps the most people you possibly can. That is not happening here. And I don't understand how the working class, anyone in the working class, can support this bill. And I'm trying so hard to see both sides of the story because I think it's important, but I don't understand how people can buy into this. And I don't understand why our government cannot sit down and come up with a more reasonable solution. I don't have the answer to what that solution is. I'm not an economist and I don't have all the facts. And I don't want to be in control of something that large and that looming. But it is their job to look out for the majority of the people. And the people of Wisconsin are hurting, and more people will hurt if this bill is passed. The Senate is the only thing that stands in the way, and if Scott Walker succeeds in tricking the Democrats into coming back as he admitted that he wanted to do on that phone call with the fake David Koch, then this bill could go forward without anyone's voice being heard. The Republicans have effectively been plugging their ears and claiming that the majority is on their side. If the majority is on their side, I want to see that, and I want to know where they are getting their information from, because they have not provided examples of that. They have not provided specifics, and they have disconnected the legislative hotline and stopped listening and have not been taking hearings from the public of Wisconsin. Where is the logic in that, and where are you getting majority out of that? And why are we allowing ourselves to be pitted against each other while corporations and the top 2% gain? There is a no-bid contract that's being written into this bill. No-bid contracts for state facilities, meaning that they can sell to a corporation that they choose for whatever price they want, and the people of Wisconsin get no say. And then we have to deal with the repercussions. The public and the private workers should be bonding together, and they should be trying to get the government to come up with a solution that benefits everyone. This isn't ideal, and it's never going to be perfect, and there's always going to be someone left out. But we should be working towards perfection, not stepping away from it and saying things are broken, so let's just break them more. I am incredibly impassioned by this. I am heartbroken, and I am disgusted. And I want to see a change happen here, a change that helps the people who do not have the money to pay, whether they work for the state or for a private company. This needs to change, because this is not making our economic situation any better. And there needs to be democracy and discussion if we are going to continue calling ourselves a representative republic and a democracy. It cannot be one group of people pushing their agenda forward and not listening to what anyone else has to say. I will link you to the article that reports on this, but this is an opinion piece, and there are less facts to link to. And if you want to see who exactly is being affected by this bill, I have a great video that will show you too, and it will break your heart. Thank you for listening.